Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I don't know why my complexion is so red. Anyways, happy Friday, and listen, today is a great day because it not only is the weekend, but for me, it is a three-day weekend. Tomorrow is the coronation. Once again, let me reiterate, I cannot stand Charles or Camilla, but I love royal watching. So it's gonna be great. And I do not have mandatory peopling this weekend. So I love it. Listen, I promised you yesterday that you would get it, and you're gonna get it, because today I'm going to recap what happened on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So let's get into it. There was a slip up this week, and I think some of us were saying this about this specific person. But let's start off with Danielle. Danielle's mom popped over to pay her family a visit, wondering how many times you can say cock ring in the presence of your mother. Although her mom didn't really seem to care that much, which, hey, that's cool. She talked to her mom about how the ladies were mean girls to her in Ireland, especially Rachel and Margaret. Danielle then told her mom that Margaret had heard that Margaret and her ex-best friend had heard the rumor about Melissa in the back seat of a car with somebody who was not Joe. And Danielle's mom had said that what would you want done if it was you? I think you should tell Melissa, because if it was you, you would want to know if this is going around. So Danielle said, okay, I am going to let her know. Next up, Rachel and John Fuda. They went to see an adoption lawyer because Rachel wants to legally adopt her stepson, adopt Jaden as her own. They were very excited. The lawyer then had said, listen, legally, we have to serve the biological mother with papers, because if you are going to go out and try to adopt Jaden, then she has a right to get a lawyer. So they're going to serve the papers, and from the time they serve them, his biological mother has 45 days. If 45 days passes and you don't hear any word from her, then it is free, it's free sailing, free and clear. You're in the free and clear. But if she does get back to them, then it is going to be, I believe it is a contested adoption, as opposed to just an open adoption. I guess it's an open adoption, but if she replies to them, then it's a contested adoption. Next up, they were over at Jennifer Aydin's house, and listen, Jennifer was going through and showing some of the things to her daughter, her 9-year-old daughter, things that she's going to give Teresa for her bridal shower. One of those things was a garter, and she's like, I'm going to give her a garter. And then we found out that her 9-year-old daughter tells her mother to wear lingerie for dad, which is, I'm sorry, if I had a 9-year-old daughter, I wouldn't want her to be like, can you wear lingerie? No. Tell me if that's weird. I just think it's odd. So listen, I get from her just talking to Bill, from Jennifer and Bill talking together, I got two things. Number one, I don't really understand why women on the show, especially Dolores, is like, I really like the two of them together. I think they're a great couple. I don't think they're a great couple together. I think he's creepy. And the second thing that stood out to me about these two is that Bill doesn't seem like he really he really doesn't do shit for the kids. Like when they were away in Ireland, it seems like he didn't do much of anything. He was like, they're independent. They can handle themselves, whatever. And he then said that he said, I take care of patients all day. So when I come home, I don't want to have to take care of people. These are your children. I mean, no, I told you. I didn't like him from the beginning. I still don't like him. And then he's also going against therapy. He's against continuing therapy because he said that Jennifer is the one who has all the problems. Well, I mean, she has problems because of him. I mean, she's not going because of just things that were from her past. She's going because she wants to work on the marriage. I don't know that he necessarily does. Next up, Teresa met her daughters at the bridal shop and they tried on their bridesmaids dresses. Listen, I cannot believe how grown up these girls are. From watching it from New Jersey is one of the shows that I've watched from the beginning. So remembering them when they were tiny to now, like what the hell? Where did the time go? So they're trying on their dresses, and Joe Giudice calls, and they put them on, like on video phone. Listen to me, video phone. They put them on a video, and it was real nice. It was nice to see that Teresa and Joe are better or in a better place. And I think they're probably doing that for their kids because they want their kids to see, hey, listen, we can get along and we don't have to fight. I mean, I wish that was the way that it was between her and her brother, but, and then Teresa had said she's hoping that someday things can be straightened out so he can come over and visit. It was real nice. She started crying. It was nice. Next, there was a little thing with Marge Sr., Lexi's mom. They went to lunch. Lexi is moving in with Margaret and Bill, and then talk turned to how Teresa is treating Melissa and Joe, and her mom was like, I can't believe how they're treating Joe and Melissa. And they said they probably are treating her like that, them like that, because Teresa thinks that they treat her really bad, which they were like, but she doesn't. They don't treat her really bad. Then listen, they went over to Melissa's house and they visited, and it's real nice because Antonia had made the high honor roll. She got all A's, and they're talking about that, and then all of a sudden, beep, 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 you hear like a beeping sound. So it's it's Melissa's mom, Donna, rolling down the street in a brand new, it was probably an SUV. I mean, I thought at first that it was a car. Then when she got in it, it looked more like an SUV. And then of course, that's what Melissa was like, I had to drive a Toyota. And the mother was like, I drove an old Chevy. Listen, there is nothing wrong with driving a Toyota. Don't make it out like if you drove a Toyota, you drove a piece of shit. Toyotas are good cars. I drive a Toyota. My Toyota is a 2014. And I'm telling you what, it still drives like just fine. And it's not an embarrassing car. I used to drive a Toyota. Oh, you're really on the struggle bus, Melissa. A Toyota. Come on now. But they were basically just talking about how Melissa's mom is just loves their children and is just in their lives, and that's what they want. They want just joy and family. So then the talk turned to Ireland between Joe and Melissa, and she talked about how during the one activity when they had to, paint something from Teresa's life, from her past, or from her life, she painted the four of them coming over from Italy. Melissa said that she got real choked up. She cried, but then she just gave up. She's done arguing with Teresa. And Melissa said she'll go to the bridal shower. She'll go to the wedding just for the normalcy for Joe and her family. But then after that, she's done. She's getting off the ride, and that's it. Then, listen, Dolores met up with Frank for lunch. Dolores said it wasn't really her idea to sit down with Frank. It was more Polly's. Just because Frank really seems to be, I don't want to say pushing against this relationship, but he wanted to talk to her because he feels that things are just completely changed and maybe not for the good between the family, like between her and Frank and the kids. Frank said that Frank Jr. got his dream job and we're going to have a dinner. And Dolores had said, well, I can invite Paul. So Paul's going to come. And he's like, no, I don't want Paul there. And I don't want Brittany there. It's just the four of us. I just want the four of us there. And in the past, it's always been just the four of us. And Dolores was like, what was that? It was like that in the past because we weren't in serious relationships. I'm in a serious relationship now, and that's what I'm focusing my energy towards. Listen, the kids are grown, so it's not like they're young kids where she has to watch their every move. She's in a new relationship, and so is Frank. He's like I said, he said that he doesn't want anything to change with the family. Dolores says it really isn't. It isn't. And Paul isn't going to come between the family, but we're a family that can accept new people into the fold. Frank had then said that his mom had recently passed. He would always go to his mom for things. And when she passed, that went to Dolores. Well, now Dolores doesn't seem to be around, and it feels like he's lost his best friend. And they talk it out a little bit and they work it out, and they're gonna, all of them, the family plus Brittany plus Paul, are gonna go out to dinner. It looked like there was they worked it out. I don't think they did though. I mean, something within me says that Frank just doesn't. I think I can understand where he's coming from, but listen, if you wanted things to be like the way they were, then you probably shouldn't have cheated on Dolores. And you probably, when she said, can you stay faithful? And you probably should have not said, no, I cannot. So you broke it up. I don't know what to say. He's going to have to just get over the fact that she has a new man in her life, and that's it. So the big draw of this episode was Teresa's surprise, her surprise bridal shower. Listen, I don't think she was surprised at all because she's going out to lunch with her daughters and she's dressed in a bridal white dress with little appliques and beading. I don't know if that was really a surprise. So they are on their way over. Teresa and two of her daughters are headed over to the surprise bridal shower. She gets a call in the car on speakerphone because that is, I guess, a rule. It has to be on speakerphone. So they're driving. She gets a call from Louis, and it's about a dinner that they're going to be having Thursday at this restaurant called Avra. He's sending a text message out about Thursday night dinner at Avra. And it's going out to Dolores +1, Margaret +1, Jennifer +1, Jackie +1, all those people, everyone except Melissa and Joe. I'm not inviting them. And Teresa just about breaks her neck to try and get him off of speakerphone, which she does. And she says, the camera's on. And he says, oh shit, okay. And then she says, if you invite, then you have to invite everyone. And then they're done. So And then Teresa says something like, well, we have to invite them to the kids. And then she comes up with the gem of there's always a light at the end of the rainbow, which I guess that's the new saying. There's always the light at the end of the rainbow. See, now this right here, this to me makes me think, wait a minute, is it really Teresa that doesn't want them there? Or is it Louis? I'm going to tell you from the very beginning, I don't trust this guy and I don't trust him now. And to me, I feel like this is Louis trying to cut all her family out of her life so that she just has his family. She just has her daughters and his family. His family becomes her family, and then he can control her. That's what I think. I don't like him. I didn't like him from the beginning, and I think that there is something up with him. And if I remember correctly, his company, there's a lawsuit against his company. So I'll look more into that and I'll tell you more about that, but that's what I heard. So at the bridal shower, Melissa talks to Louis' sister and she says she's very nice. However, it just feels like she's replacing me. Like she gets the new sister-in-laws and I am out. I can see that. I can see where she's coming. Ashley Darby from Potomac was there. I was real happy to see Ashley Darby from Potomac there. Danielle shows up and it's like real awkward because Rachel's there as well. Margaret gets there and is real civil, is like hugging her and is like, oh, hello. So she can be civil. Margaret asks Melissa if she's talked to Teresa. Teresa hasn't, and she just feels terrible that she has to be at this bridal shower amongst all of Teresa's friends and she has to walk on eggshells. That would not be a good feeling. And because of all of this, Danielle's like, listen, I'm going to put this on the back burner of telling her about this rumor that I heard, which I completely agree. I wouldn't want to bring that up to her. Teresa shows up, like I said, in this wedding white dress, because of course it was a surprise. Danielle says that she's going to pick her battles because there's the two Rachels. There's when it's real good, and then there's when she's coming after her. Rachel says she wants to move on with Danielle. Teresa then makes a little speech, thanks her sister-in-law from California, talks about her best friend who was there for her when Joe was in prison, in jail, makes no mention of Melissa. Now, Margaret says it seems like it was intentional. I have to say, I feel like it was intentional too. Like, they didn't show her talking to Melissa at all. She very well could have, but I don't know. They didn't show her. So that's it. That's this week. Let me know what you thought about the whole thing. And with that being said, I'm going to head off now, edit this, get it out to you guys, because tomorrow is coronation. I'm getting up early. Like I'm going to try for 4 o'clock, but I doubt that. So, okay. Well, that being said, if nobody told you yet today, why wouldn't they? I love you. You are loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. Please spread acceptance and love very liberally and take care of one another and treat everyone as you would want to be treated. And I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.